crowd of about 6,000 or 7,000 people at the Woodville Oval for the start of the derby between the Dogs and the Warriors. Umpire Hilton gets the ball underway, thumped clear by Parker. Going through Brad, he got his foot to the ball, but the umpire has seen a free kick. It's going the way of the Dogs, and it's Jamie Thomas with the first free kick of the game. To put them into attack, Rene Van Dommel won the toss and kicked to the southern end. Very little breeze, ideal conditions, maybe just a little warm. Here's a chance now for the Dogs to clear through. Martin finds Fuller just on the edge of the square. You get 15 metres on top of that. Umpire Hilton and Michael Abbott in charge. John Hilton, that is. Parker. Back to Rogers. Rogers straight. Drives long up towards the half-forward line. Lee comes to meet it casually almost. Lost the footy. In goes Taylor. Rides a bump. Did it well. The long handball is short from Swars. Lee in the action again. Taylor can't get it out. Throws it away. Heavy work in there. In goes Swars. Player stack up and the umpire will come in and bounce.
A good opening to this match. A very good opening indeed as umpire Hilton puts it down. Moulds and Parker in there. Well, plenty of bodies around the ball. This is going to be a rough, tough affair here at the Woodville Oval. Both sides had very good victories last week. The Dogs slaughtered North Adelaide. Woodville came home very strong against the Bloods, as put out on that occasion by Colin McDonald, who's playing his 50th game, I understand, for the Warriors.
Kick back into play by Lee. Inside the half-back line, puts it back. Parker sets himself. The big fellow thumps clear. Fuller, who unloaded that to Haylock. He was never in a position to get it. Sock it to the half-forward line. Back there it was Brady, missed. Templeton got it out, goes back looking for it again. Brady in the action as well, but the umpire's going to give a free kick to Buckley. Buckley will go out wide to Thomas. You're going to have to go and chase it. Fuller won't get there. Flanking him is Graham. That's where the ball will finish. Makes a metre to get there. The Dogs into attack. Out comes Vandermaker. Leads to metre. Oh, it's Bubner. Bubner dropped the sitter. Couldn't quite get there. Heavy body work and the umpire will bounce once more. Well, that was the sitter. Peter Bubner playing in attack. And it looks like Brady's playing at centre half back on Andrew Taylor. Interesting moves by the Dogs before they start. Half forward line. Here's a chance now for Hocking. Hooks in towards goal and through. Sorry, Anderson it is. Stephen Anderson, number 34, has booted the first one for the Dogs. Bounced through and they're on the way.
Oh, it was a good effort too, Ian, and actually put that goal down to Peter Bytheen because he did the heavy body work in the pack. He shepherded very well. That gave the chance for the young chap Anderson to come through, and that was a good goal. An important one here to open up for the Dogs, and I can tell you what, they want to win this one.
At the centre bounce, it'll be Parker in opposition to Moulds. Good bounce. Parker gets the tap. Fuller thumps to the half-forward line. Back knocked up there by Swars, but it went straight to Pryor, the half-forward line. Jack Weir back there. With him is Fantasia, runs the gauntlet, does it well, puts out a pass. Swars makes a metre, gets a good half volley. Centre wing, puts it back in board to Martin. It wasn't a good handball, but he's got the pace to break clear of Graham. Drives to the half-forward line. Haylock thought about going off, but then he could see the big body of Greg Page coming to meet him and decided it was better if he stopped and had a shot for goal. Haylock is 35 metres out from goal. As far as we can see, there's no breeze. The sock is actually limp against the post on the outer side. That's going to be close. I think it's touched. Nichols gets it back in. Heavy body work again. The umpire has seen a free kick. It's going the way of Nichols. Well, it might have been a little bit soft, that one. No, it's going the way of Templeton. In actual fact, Nichols had the ball initially, tried to get it back to a teammate in Templeton who's won the free kick. Very handy spot. He's 10 metres out, 45-degree angle. In goes the deep breath. Should not miss. Does not miss. And the Warriors tie up the ball game. One goal, both teams.
Well, it was well done by Haylock to get the ball in there. It looked as though it may have been a goal there for a while, and Nichols had hold of it. The umpire obviously thought that Templeton was being held onto without the ball, and so he made good with that free kick. So it's a goal each at this stage, and as we've already mentioned, tackling is fierce, and both teams very enthusiastic. They both want those 2 points.
Good to arrive at the Woodville Oval and see a queue of about 150 metres. People waiting to get in. Couldn't get a park for a kilometre or two away. Moulds gets the tap this way, not effective towards the half line, forward line, and Bytheen going through O'Brien. He lost it. Panizza likewise. Rowe, Van Dommel tried to run the ball, decides to kick out. Comes Van der Meter. He's got it this time. Big Rudy's got it. And he's got it about 45 metres out. 45-degree angle. It's evident now. And he got out of the blocks well. Bubner gave him a lead, but he should make the distance. Pretty long kick. It's a nice looking kick. And I think it's home. Fine goal, man to make her. Beautifully put, Van Dommel. The Dogs are 2 goals, the Warriors 1.
Great move there by Van Dommel. He was going to tack in towards centre half forward, but he skipped back and kept it to grandstand side. And of course, Rudy Mandermaker, who leads so well and marks so well, made mincemeat of that one. And no fullback could have stopped it. He decided to take the kick, and that was the right decision. The Dogs are 2 goals, the Warriors 1.
At the bounce, it'll be Parker against Moulds. Parker looks a little bit taller, but Moulds got up the higher. Ball forced away towards O'Brien. He can't pick it up. Finally, Van Dommel gets it towards centre wing. Panizza against Rowe. Panizza conceding ground, and the ball is out of play. 2 goals, the Dogs, 1 for the Warriors.
Trevor Rowe being played on centre wing this year by Coach Cowboy Neal. He's pretty happy too with the form of Moulds. Of course, the Dogs without Cousins this year, and also there's been a big lift by Bytheen. Lally it is, who gets it across to Jamie Thomas. Whoop, he completely jagged that one, but he follows up pretty well. Through he goes. Pretty tough player, Jamie Thomas. Gets it back to Lally. Oh, it won't sit for him at all. Here's a chance, Flintoff. He's a pretty good kick, Flintoff, straight through the centre. Oh, great football, the Dogs. Flintoff gets his first. The Dogs 3 goals, Woodville 1.
Well done, Jamie Thomas. The first pass he put out was a shocker. It was awful. And he realised his mistake, and he went and backed up by 30 metres, got the ball out towards Lally and also Flintoff. They had the choice of 2. I thought the Warrior defender coming to meet the ball was just a little soft there. He could have taken them both out, but he chose not to. And finally, Flintoff picked up the ball, shot for goal. It's their 3rd without a miss.
Good start, the Dogs. Moulds and Parker in ruck. Moulds, a vastly improved player this year. He smashes that one down to centre half forward. Rogers beats Bytheen to the ball, although Bytheen is certainly pressuring him. Back it goes to Martin. He has to concede ground as well. Hooks back, and it's Jamie Thomas who's controlling the centre at the moment for the Dogs. 3rd kick now as he gets past his opponent, puts it out towards Flintoff, who takes it low to the ground. Very clever player. Fantasia standing the mark. Mandermaker has stayed back. Now he leads towards centre half forward. Has to tack back. Bubner's there. Over the top went Lally. O'Dwyer. A chance for the Woodville side through Jack Weir as they clear. And we've now got Alex Lunn. Lunn kicks it up towards centre wing. Parker there, also Panizza. It comes out towards Rowe. He's pushed over the line. And we'll see a throw in right half forward flank for the Dogs.
3 goals to 1. Accurate kicking. Parker against Bytheen. Moulds not going into the offensive position or defensive position. Sean O'Brien was right the first time, the offensive position. And the umpire has ruled a high tackle. And Sean O'Brien, the former Western Australian, gets a free kick in the back pocket. A little terrier, or should I say a little warrior, to edge the ball out of defence, comes short to Schwarz. Well done, they've gained about 15 metres. Peter Schwarz. Still in the back pocket, that's how far the first kick travelled, a higher kick. Maybe the Dogs are kicking with a breeze. That one's holding up. Brady over the top of Taylor, bumps it clear. Fuller back in defence. On the left leg, wobbles one towards the half-forward line. Lee charts his arm and missed. Pryor likewise. Zip-zap's in there. Finally, Haylock comes out with the ball. Or the kick, a good kick, would have been dangerous as far as the Dogs were concerned. It wasn't a good one to Taylor, and Lee is quite happy to saunter across the line with it.
As Ian mentioned before, Brady is at centre half back on Taylor. He's a big, strong player, Brady, and might be the man to do a good job. Although Taylor is a guy that you can't keep out of the game all day. That's in the back. Parker will take the free kick. Now, Nichols is leading. Parker's going for home. There is no one there. Parker's kick is a good one, and Nichols, oh, he nearly had it. Neely's not good enough in this game, though, and it went through for a point. Woodville 1-1, the Dogs 3 goals.
First opportunity to have a look at Greg Page, the banana bender, boy from Queensland who couldn't get into the Brisbane Bears, so chose his lot with the Dogs. Full back, he looks a pretty solid sort of customer. Panizza. Half forward line, O'Brien. Brady through, hasn't got the footy. Play on, Graham through the half back line. Go the Dogs short, now to Rowe. Rowe at centre wing, looking for a running player. Pryor, caught on the left, or got no left wing. Great tackle. Poor effort that was. Martin got it out wider still. Quickly over there to, that was Lunn. Lunn kicks to the half forward line and Templeton can't keep it in play.
1-1-7 Woodville. Central District 3 goals. A great opening to this match. 25 in ruck there is Moulds. Number 1, Max Parker for Woodville. Parker got his hand to it there. Anderson it was for the Dogs who got it out. Here's a chance now. Van Dommel through to Thomas. Jamie Thomas gets it over the top. Through the Dogs go again. Lally it was. A chance, Vandermaker off hands. Flintoff. He's on the left boot. That's an impossible angle. Vandermaker slipped over. And here they go again. Fantasia to Jack Weir. Woodville are going to get out of this one very well. Away they come. Fantasia again for Woodville. Puts it up to centre wing. Here's a chance now for Taylor. Trevor Rowe. Taylor is very competitive. Now Brady. Brady goes short, too short, or was it a mark? Thomas Anderson, oh, good smother there by Panizza. Back he goes, he claims the mark, but it didn't go 10 metres. Fuller, oh, good smother then. Lally, not Lally, in fact it was Little. Fuller goes out wide, oh, big chance here for the Warriors. Sean O'Brien it is, off he goes. Puts the ball out now towards Sewer. Sewer and Buckley. Buckley in hot pursuit. Sewer's got it. He did have it. He went through his legs and zipped it, kicked it on further.
Bytheen in trouble. Trainers out there. I think he'll come off. It looks to be pretty bad. Stretcher on the way out. Funny thing, I saw it happen. He didn't even seem as though he moved. He just tried to sidestep as the player came to meet him, and all of a sudden he just went down like he was shot. And knee or ankle, Stretcher's out there, but he's on his feet. Meanwhile, back at the play, Rogers through. Puts in a long one. Lee's got to stand his ground. Sewer up very early. Nichols in there trying to get it back to Templeton. He got hit on the lolly. Nichols through again. Now on the left leg, puts out the pass, and that's beautifully done to Taylor. Taylor's got it. Well done, Stephen Nichols. And Taylor's got it 45 metres out right in front. And here comes Peter Bytheen. It's not Bytheen, it's Van Dommel. I beg your pardon. Rene Van Dommel. It is, and that's bad news for the Dogs. Taylor's kick, or it's a tumble punt in the end, not a good one, and well taken in defence by Buckley. Runs it to Page, he's run into trouble. Gets it out, however, and a chance now for Pryor to clear.
Bulldogs will come down the centre of the ground now. Here's a chance for Flintoff. Oh, he's going to get caught. No, he just gets the kick away, but the whistle is gone. I don't know why. I have no idea why umpire Hilton bring that ball back.
Because of the stretcher, Peter, and it's not even on the oval.
Well, I'd agree with you, Ian. The stretcher's over the boundary line, and he stopped up that movement of play by the Dogs, and I'm sure that they wouldn't be delighted about that at all. Van Dommel goes off to the applause of the crowd. This is the 4th kick now to David Flintoff. What a brilliant player he is. Bytheen's at centre half forward. He gave away a free kick then over the shoulder of Rogers, and it's his free kick. Good player, Rogers. Good steady defender. A lot of courage there by Flintoff as he went back into the pack. Lally came through well. Also Fuller. Panizza ran over it. McDonald could do nothing with it. Haylock's in trouble. They're all in trouble. Pretty tight football days.
Sure is, Peter. I agree with your opening comment that it's on. They both want to win this one badly, and we've possibly got the match of the day, and isn't that great? The two most junior teams in the competition, Centrals and Woodvilles, entered in 1964 in the match of the day at the moment at the Warriors' home ground. Tapped away by Moles to McDonald. Gave it quickly there to, Fuller got the kick away. He got it from Swars. Lee playing well in the first quarter. Tumbles the ball back to the half-forward line. Well read there by McGrath, but it's not to Rogers. Rogers short, Parker, the running player Haylock with method. The Warriors go forward. Sewer's going to get a leap, can't find it. Pryor comes out with the football. makes a metre, goes for the bounce through the half-back line. Thought about another one, puts it in long, out comes Vandermaker, but in defence it's Alex Munn who stands his ground and does it well.
Good football being played by both sides. The Warriors regaining their composure just a little bit of late. Oh, well done, Jamie Thomas. Seems to like that centre position. Going to play it on now with his fourth kick. Oh, not a good one. Not a good one at all. O'Brien fell over. Back goes Fantasia, but it's gone out. We'll see a throw in left half forward flank for the Dogs.
The visitors by 11 points. Throw in about 45 metres around. Bytheen against Rogers at the throw-in. Haylock wants it back. Oh, Flintoff over the top. It almost came off too. He starts to bottle the ball up now, and umpire Michael Abbott forced to come in and bounce. 35 to 40 metres out from goal. And maybe the Son Centrals just have got a touch of breeze behind them, but certainly it's not going to affect the game one way or the other. Bytheen thumps it clear. The Warriors come away with it. Fantasia up towards centre field. Moulds. Graham, good football. Graham puts out the long one. Oh, not quite Anderson. Bubner couldn't. Jack Ware to Lynch, under pressure, does it well, and gets clear short. Fantasia.
McDonald it is. He's going to bounce it through the centre. Thought about the handball, but goes out to centre wing. Now tries to hook it back. Not a good kick. Brady cuts it off very easily out there in front of Taylor.
Throw in on the half-forward right flank. Can't tell you how the time's going. The clock's not working. We can tell you the score is 3 goals to 1-1. And it's been a tough first quarter. Parker up easily. Gets it down there to Swartz. In turn, Haylock. High. Higher than longer in actual fact. Have to wait for it to come down. Pryor got his hand to it. Flintoff in there. Didn't have the foot. He's going to get a free kick. He's on the half-back line at the moment. David Flintoff has been a fine acquisition for the Dogs. In the 2 seasons he's been here, or his second season now. Drives back towards centre wing. Got mistimed it there. Martin chases it towards the line, and there it goes out of play.
They've certainly done very well with their Hawthorn recruits, the Dogs. Vandermaker, Flintoff, Shields. I think there's a couple more in there somewhere. But Hawthorn have done well out of Bulldog recruits too. They've got Johnny Platt. That's a good tackle, but umpire Hilton said it was held to him. We'll see about centre wing, just the attacking side of centre wing for the Dogs. Moulds is winning the taps in the centre, but they're not going straight to Bulldog players. A chance now for Fuller. Very clever player. Johnny Martin's on centre wing, had to get rid of it quickly. Graham had it, then let it go. Fuller again. Can't pick it up. Very scrambly patch of play out there as the Warriors looked as though they might have got it clear then. Haylock, brilliant pick-up. The handball wasn't that good. The Woodville player down. The whistle is gone. Umpire John Hilton is going to bring it back with the Woodville player laying on his back. Now, I don't know whether there's a free kick to the Warriors or a free kick to the Dogs, but the Warriors had the run of that ball there, Ian. I thought that if he's brought it back to give a free kick to that Woodville player, he's certainly disadvantaged them.
I agree, Peter. I thought in actual fact he lost the run of player because he looked back to see the Woodville player go down, gave him the free kick. It's Kevin Haylock, and by that time he'd lost where the ball was, and he gave the free kick. But I agree that Woodville did have the advantage, but they've got a set shot at goal now through Kevin Haylock if he's not too sick to take the ball. They're still in, he's still in the hands of the trainers, so it's going to be Templeton to take the free kick for goal. He's about 45 metres out.
Well, we'll see it now as he lines up, but I think they need to get a goal out of this one to get the advantage back. Haylock's been a good player in the first quarter too. He's got a lot of courage. He backs into packs. The Templeton kick's a nice looking one for distance, but it doesn't get the accuracy. That's a point. The Warriors 1-2, the Dogs 3 goals.
Kick in by Page once more. Haylock's still in the hands of the trainers. Now he leaves them. Didn't actually see the knock. Obviously it's pretty heavy. Oh, that's dangerous. Moulds had to go in hard for that one. Couldn't get out. Down goes Nichols. Players are fighting hard for the footy. Taylor goes in. Hasn't been sighted a great deal. Brady's got pretty tight control on him at the moment. And there's going to be a bounce down at centre half forward. Only about 30 metres out from the Warrior goal. They're down by 10 points. Parker against Moulds. Lee tried to get the kick away. In goes O'Brien, and once again the umpire separates for a bounce.
Must be the time on now in this first quarter as Max Parker goes for the thump. O'Brien for the Warriors again. Here's Rowe. Shields it is, who gets the kick clear. In fact, Scott Lee it was. Good effort in there by Thomas, who's on the ground now. That's Greg Thomas to Jamie Thomas. A chance for Rudy Vandermaker as he ran past the ball. They Dwyer back on it very quickly. Onto the left boot. It's a nice-looking kick, too, that finds Jack Wheel. There's Greg Thomas, the former Norwood footballer, who's having his first run with the Dogs. And there's Lynch. Back to Schwartz, the vice-captain for the Warriors. Schwartz at half-back. Puts it up towards half-forward. Taylor there. Brady's going to give a free kick away, and it'll go to Taylor.
Funnily enough, Peter, talking about Greg Thomas, he's limping badly behind play, feeling his knee. Gee, what a start if he comes off now. Haylock across ground, in towards Martin. He's not got the footy. He's going to get a free kick. Brendan Little a little disappointed, but there was no question that he didn't have the footy, was retarded, and the free kick goes to the speedster who's stationed at centre wing. At the moment, however, he's at centre half forward and a very real chance to kick a goal. Kick number 4 coming up for John Martin. Usually pretty good one. It's a nice looking kick. I think he's pushed it offline, however, 1 point only. And no question, Woodville wasting opportunities now. They're 1-3, Central's 3 goals.
Greg Page is the Bulldog fullback. As we near the end of this first quarter, he puts it to the outer side of the ground, looking for Brady out there, but it doesn't reach Brady. It finds Taylor. Fuller for the Warriors, puts it back towards Haylock, and he takes the mark. Off he goes. Oh, he's caught. Now John Martin hooks it back to Sewer. Sewer puts in the long one, but it wasn't a good kick as Page cuts it off. Uses the handball now to Anderson. If it reaches that player, it does now. Got out of that very well indeed, Anderson. Parker's under the ball and will mark in front of Moles. Oh, Nichols is on his own. Parker saw him. Nichols has got the leap from behind. Up he goes. Couldn't grab it. Gee, Page gave him 20 metres then. I wouldn't give Nichols an inch.
I go along with that, Peter. But the big fellow looks like he's pretty cool there. He ran himself into a bit of trouble and whipped out a long handball, and Anderson showed some speed. Butner on the ball at the moment. Haylock to Taylor. Hooked around the corner, but it's poorly dispatched, and it's well taken there by the boy that Peter's talking about, and that is Page. Brady. Down went Haylock again. Flintoff off the half-back line up towards half-forward line. Lally used his body well. If it keeps in play, he's got a chance. Did it well. Oh, runs into Rogers. Down he goes. And the umpire said it's a high tackle. Stephen Lally from centre wing to put the Dogs into attack. Thomas wants it. So does McGrath. And now off goes Moulds having a spell. But he's going in short. Well read there by Rogers. He was looking for Bytheen. Rogers got it, but a free kick also going to the Dogs, and this is Brendan Little. From the attack side of centre wing to put them into attack, going up for Vandermaker. He's not going to even get there. It's going to be Moulds in the back pocket with him. Is Fantasia, not Fantasia. It was actually Lynch got it over. Now, but high kick back to the half-forward on Orr. Thomas has got to stand his ground. Mowed down. In fact, I think it's McGrath in actual fact, is it? He's down. Not for the count. He'll get gingerly to his feet. Yes, McGrath it is. Gee, how do you like those kicks coming in high to you, Peter, when you've got to stand and watch or listen for the thundering herd coming down?
Yeah, it brings back bad memories, Daisy, doesn't it?
McGrath did it well, though. Kept his head up and won a free kick for his pain. 35 metres out. The kick is barely going to make the distance. It does, but it was a very tentative kick. Maybe he's feeling the effects of the knock, but he's nudged the point. It's there first. 3-1 to 1-3.
Actually, I think that Jack Weir won that. He stood the mark and he chided McGrath into coming up too close to him, and he had to get right under it to lift it over him. It's gone out of bounds again, and Martin's the player out there, so it'll be thrown in just the attack side of centre wing for the Dogs. The Dogs are 3-1. It's been a pretty good quarter for them up forward. When they've gone forward, they've been very efficient.
Parker against Bytheen, back towards Lally. Half forward line. Oh, never got started, and the ball was out of play. Throw in, same spot.
Good smother there by Schwartz. I know he's very highly regarded here at Warrior headquarters. Oh, Flintoff. Brilliantly done, Flintoff. hooks it around. Here's a chance for Mandamaker. The big chap's behind it, he's got it. Oh, how did he do that?
How about a little push?
Yeah, I thought there was one in there, actually. I think that's what it was. It was a little push. I'm wondering if the umpire saw it and said it wasn't big enough to be a free kick.
Peter, I don't think he was in position because he was head on to the players, and there was about 3 or 4 who vied for it, but well, there was a little shove there, all right.
Big Rudy, second kick. He's not a bad kick for goal. He drills that one through the centre. 2 goals, Mandamaker. 4-1 the Dogs, 1-3 the Warriors.
Well done, Rudy Mandamaker. He's not the quickest player that you've ever seen on 2 legs, and I reckon he must have lost about 10 kilos since last season. He looks like a shadow. And but he came out with about 3 or 4 other players. He never ever got off the ground, and a gentle little shove at the right moment does wonders for a full forward. He marked the ball. Umpire Michael Abbott said it was okay, and the Dogs move on now to 4-1 for the Warriors 1-3.
And the Bulldog coach is far more orthodox this year. His 2 ruckmen, Moulds and Bubner, are resting in the forward pocket. Tried all sorts of things last year where we had Cousins at centre-half forward, and none of it seemed to work for him as Bubner tried to get the ball out. Also McDonald in there, but there will be another bounce. Peter Bubner started well last week, and we've heard Cowboy Neal say how impressed he is with Andrew Moulds. Ian Day has just mentioned that Mandamaker is fitter, and he'll probably be a better player for that. And I like the look of Jamie Thomas in the middle too. I think that helps. Oh, that's a good tackle. That's holding the ball. A Warrior free kick.
Just a check side of the centre line to be taken by Johnny Martin. Martin gets a lead from Sewer, likewise Taylor. He's going for the high flyer. Taylor's going to get a leap at this one, and he's got the mark. Just too quick on that occasion for Brady. Long kick up towards full forward. Fine mark, Nichols. He's got it. About 35 metres out right in front, and John Martin is down. He's got troubles as well. Gee, there's been a few problems with knees and ankles in this first quarter. Maybe the hard ground is affecting the players' joints. Oh, he's coming straight off. Nichols. Oh, you don't have to see him miss him, but he missed that one well. If you can miss them well, easily. Warriors 1-4, the Dogs 4-1.
That's Martin coming off, as you called in, and as soon as he had that kick, he just fell in a heap. He's in a lot of trouble. I'd suggest that's an ankle. Buckley takes the mark from the Page kickoff. Well, the Warriors are making mistakes. Now, one thing we do know about them, though, is they finish their games very well. I'd agree with Ian Day about Page. He's a very cool customer, and he plays good football too. Oh, well done, Brendan Little. Got it out to Anderson. Mandamaker's off. He's way out of the blocks. Anderson lines him up. Mandamaker's got it. Oh, brilliant work. And what a great handball from Brendan Little. He obviously knew that if he got it over the top, they were home free. Now, distance or test Mandamaker as he sets it up. What a delightful looking kick, but he's just offline with in the accuracy department. The Dogs 4-2 now to the Warriors 1-4.
Like the way the Dogs, when Rudy gets near the ball, Rudy. They certainly love him out here, or we're at Warrior land at the moment, but out of Dogland. And Stephen Jackware arguing with umpire Hilton. He came over the line, and of course the umpire positions himself in a position between the post and where he kicked off, and he ruled that he did. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Mulder kicked one. No, he didn't. The umpire said it was touched off the boot. Yes, what the umpire does when he sees which side the player is going to kick out, he just positions himself in line with the goal post, and if he goes past the post, he's obviously gone over the line.
Warriors under a fair bit of pressure at the moment as Des O'Dwyer goes to the outer side. Jamie Thomas is going to be paid that mark. Must be getting very close to quarter time. 6 kick to Thomas. He and Fuller have had a great tussle. Oh, there's no one home. In fact, it went over the line. It went out on the full. So it's a Warrior free kick in the right back pocket.
Yes, Robert Lynch to take it. Right up against the behind post to edge them out of defence. Darren Grant on the ground now for the Warriors to replace the injured John Martin. Parker's out there, and gee, do you think this lad's going to have to do some work today? Haven't seen Romano Negri, Peter, on the ground. Whether he's withdrawn, but he was named initially. Bubner, fine mark. And Peter Bubner could easily make the distance from here. He's 50 metres from goal, and if he gets onto it, we really sock it to them. There's the siren, quarter time, score will count. Peter Bubner to the southern end Well, the kick is a nice-looking one. That's going to be awfully close to goal. Oh, what a goal on the siren. Bubner's first. And the Dogs go to quarter time, 5-3 to the home side, 1-4.
Second quarter, Woodville Oval. The Dogs 5-3, a great first quarter. Woodville 1-4. Woodville going to the right of your screen as Max Parker put it down. Oh, away goes Graham, showing tremendous pace. Man to make her out of the blocks again. The big chap puts a hand on it. Through come the defence now. O'Dwyer got it back to Jack Weir. Jack Weir in trouble and then out of trouble. O'Dwyer, Lunn, oh, there's a free kick. Through comes Jamie Thomas. And he was a very good player in the first quarter. He shaded Fuller. Fuller did a lot of good things, but Thomas now with his 7th kick, puts it up high. Rogers across the top. Oh, Bubner kicked a fantastic goal on the bell in the first quarter, but Fantasia marks on the last line of defence and puts it out to Fuller.
Fuller's come right down from centre field into the back pocket to get the relieving kick, and not very well put either. Brendan Little gets underneath. He can go in centre field to Lally. That's the way he'll go. Lally's got to work hard. Oh, one-handed. Did it well. He's got it. Just the attack side of the centre line. The Dogs looking for a lead now. Anderson in the pocket. Kick number 4, Lally. He gives a chance now to Bubner. Holds his grand all. A lot of hard work going in there. Out comes Jack Weir with the footy. Fuller. Back looking for Jack Weir. He's going to work. Not Jack Weir. That's Lynch now. Has to work hard. Coming out with it is McDonald. Puts out the pass for Fuller, centre half back. Dummies beautifully, run through the centre line now. Puts out the long pass to the lead of Nichols. Waits for the half volley. Page couldn't. Quickly Taylor can. Templeton heads for goal on the left leg. Gives it a chance. Pops it in on its way. It's the aluminium or the woodwork. Whatever it is at Woodville Oval, he hit it. And a point only after a brilliant build-up.
I'd agree, Daisy. It was a great build-up. Set up by Ron Fuller, who is a very talented player. Scott Lee puts it to the outer side of the ground. Taylor thumps away from Brady. Here's a chance now, Panizza. Panizza lines up from 45 metres out. I think he might have put that one through. Yes, first score on the board in the second quarter. Panizza's first. The Warriors 2-5 now. The Dogs 5-3.
Yes, there's poor defensive work then by the Dogs. As the ball came out, they had very few players waiting for the ball to come off the fingers, and Panizza came down from the wing, and the boy from Western Australia made the most of his opportunity, swooped on it. Very smooth mover, and he put it through from a long way out for his first, and the Warriors second, and they're off to a good start in the second quarter, but they're still down by 16 points.
And a great opening to the second quarter by Ron Fuller. Tremendous tussle between he and Jamie Thomas in the centre of the ground. Moulds again easily in the centre. Jamie Thomas now slams one out of the middle. Good solid kick to centre half forward. Fantasia went through, or Bything took his eyes off the ball and accordingly missed it by about 2 feet. So there'll be a bounce down in the Bulldog forward zone. Max Parker comes down. Bything. Good bodywork, Bything. Parker put his hand to the ball. There's Anderson. Jamie Thomas again. Well tackled by Fuller. Away they come now, the Warriors. Up towards Taylor. Couldn't mark the ball, but he's very competitive in there. Too many players over the ball, and we'll see a bounce.
5-3 to 2-5. Ball on the half-forward right flank of the Warriors. Ideal day, maybe just a little warm for footy, but a good crowd here, 6,500, 7,000 people. Haylock jams it onto his boot quickly. Templeton has to work hard for it, close to the line. With him is Pryor, one to beat. Back to Buckley. Gets round Grant, does it pretty well. Grant playing against his former team, incidentally. Brendan Little ran into trouble. Close to holding the ball. He was off, but the umpire was sympathetic and let him go back to take his kick. To the lead of Bything. Bything got his fingers to it, couldn't complete it. Rogers, Templeton, the build-up is good again, a high one. Taylor searching for it. Brady there with him over the top. There came Lee. Quickly back, Nichols out wide now, but it went straight to Buckley. Wasn't a good handball at all, and Buckley sends it back from whence it came. Big leap flit off, right at the back of the pack, but Big Max is going to get the free kick for a push in the back. Parker's too far out to score. Off goes Taylor, but he's going into the pocket. That's loose checking. Oh, Schwartz dropped the sitter. Now he's going to have to work hard. He's close to the line. In fact, he went over it, and a throw-in will take place, but he should have had a certain mark there and a set shot for goal.
Rare mistake there by Schwartz, the Warrior vice-captain. In fact, he's acting vice-captain today with Kevin Harris out of the side. Moulds doing well in ruck. Buckley slams it onto the left boot. Grant. Oop, that's out on the full. Some pretty good strong tackling there too against Grant. They're having words, but why not?
The ball finished up halfway back to Crittenden Road. It was out of bounds on the full by at least 60 metres. Thomas puts it back towards centre wing, or McGrath underneath, got it a gentle shove, and he's going to get the free kick from check side of the centre line, put them into attack. Thomas is out wide. G's playing well, so too is Fuller. Been a great battle in that centre spot. Thomas gets a lead from Graham out wide, or McDonald's going to chip in. Or Graham's got the set, 45 metres out. He's going to give it a set shot a go, and off he goes, and I think he's got it. Oh, thumped away right on the line, no goal. Brilliantly done, Philip Graham. And great shepherding at full forward there by, I think it was Mandamaker, his first. And Centrals have got 6-3 to the Warriors 2-5.
Well, it was a tremendous effort by Graham. Once the ball didn't touch the hand of McDonald, he really had an open run at it. I'm not too sure, Ian, whether it was Mandamaker or Bubner down there, but whoever it was, the shepherding was superb. The ball only just made it, but that's all it's got to do. The Dogs 6-3, the Warriors 2-5.
Moulds having a run on ruck, against Max Parker, who's been there all day. Negra is on the fence. You'd think they'd use him and give Big Max a spell. It's not really winter out there, you know. Thomas does it well. Dwackware on the half-back line. Beautifully done, Thomas again. Panizza conceding ground. Geez, getting around in a wide arc there. Hooks back centre field. Grant against Little. Grant got the fingers to it first. Now Little again, McDonald. Grant wants it. McDonald whips out a long one over towards Schwartz. Intercepted Brady. He's lost the footy. Templeton. Oh, throwing it away. There appeared to be a throw, and that's the way the umpire gave it against Peter Schwartz. And it's Pryor to take the free kick.
Oh, brilliant kick too. He finds Greg Thomas, the former Norwood player, and he puts it out wide. Oh, there's no one there for the Dogs. There are Warrior players everywhere. Rogers finally. Centre wing now. Sewer. He hasn't really had opportunities yet, Ralph Sewer, so you can't be critical of the fact that he hasn't been in the game. His second kick. Brady. Or in the back, yes, umpire John Hilton. Right on the spot. Taylor's going to play it on with the left boot. Nichols, 1 against 2. Put the one hand out, it nearly stuck. And there will be conceded 1 point down there by Scott Lee. So the Warriors are 2-6, the Dogs 6-3.
There goes my pet hate again at the moment, Peter. I've got a thing about those conceding points. Maybe players forget that you can still win a game by a point. Still, obviously the coaches don't mind because they allow them to do it. Page gets the kick in and does it well to Scott Lee. He's developing into a very good back pocket player. Scott Lee came from the AC2 more as a rover. Fourth kick for the afternoon, up towards Moulds, who had the ball thumped away by Parker. O'Brien, Fuller, out goes Fuller. Lee did it well, down goes Lee. 25 is Moulds, and the umpire will bounce the ball on the half-forward line of the Warriors.
Right from the word go, this game has been a rough, tough, hard affair. Both sides very keen to get those 2 points. Haylock's been a good player for the Warriors. Panizza kicked their last goal. Again, he goes on that very wide arc, and that causes some problems for the forwards. Pryor now, flanked by Buckley. Buckley gets tackled without the ball, so it's a Buckley no. The umpire is going to bounce it himself. Thought it may have been a Buckley free kick. The ball will come back to umpire John Hilton, I think you'll find. It'll be bounced at right half forward, almost forward pocket for the Warriors. Been some great tussles here. Brady against Taylor has been a beauty. Thomas against Fuller in the middle of the ground has been an outstanding one. Now Lally, oh, he tries to hug the line with that, but he overhugged it and it went out.
He sure did, Peter. And it's going to be Stephen Jackware. I don't know how you overhug a line, but it's an interesting one for World of Sport if we had one. The kick-in is a long one up towards the half-forward line. Leap by Nichols, not successful. Quickly picked up by O'Brien. A flying shot at goal, close to the line and out of play in the right forward pocket.
Good game of football. 2-6 the Warriors, the Dogs 6-3. Been some brilliant performances by players here today. Moulds has been a very good player. I think he's controlled the ruck work, but his running players haven't really taken enough advantage. McDonald hooks one around the corner. Moulds in slow motion. Gets back. Little. He's a good player, Little. Great player. Buckley did that well as well. Fantasia used good body work then. Anderson gets back, or tries to. Now Lunn. Lunn puts it back towards half forward. A big leap there by Taylor, but too early. Not Brady, Little's on the ground and he gets up now, but he looked hurt initially, but he's okay.
Lally didn't have the football. Grant made the tackle and consequently the free kick to the Dog player. See, that's dangerous out wide. Thomas is going to have to work hard for this. Fuller is wearing him. Fuller, high tackle, fairly lucky. Thomas not happy, but the free kick goes to his opposing player. Ron Fuller, too far out to score. Kick number 7 coming up in short, or looking for McDonald. Did it well, slipped, he's off. No question about that. He's been asked to play on, now he's gone. Back to Grant. Grant thought about a handball, he's conceding ground. Now McDonald, ringer Rosie, hooks in high, coming to meet it back there, and taking it well in defence is Moulds. Gee, the Dogs made hard work of that, at least the Warriors did. Little up high. O'Brien close to the line, chipped around the corner, looking for Haylock. Couldn't quite make the grade. In goes Page. Now Templeton shoots for goal, and it's hit the post again. Oh, gee, what a shot from the right forward pocket. Little unlucky, but a point only to the home side. 2-7, the Dogs are 6-3.
That was Templeton who hit the post in the first quarter, or no, earlier this quarter, when he streamed through half forward on his left boot. So now we've got Brady to kick the ball out to grandstand side. Moulds, good strong player. Again Moulds, but it's Parker who recovers to O'Brien. Now Haylock. Haylock lines it up, but he's way offline and kicks it out on the full. So I think Cowboy Neal will be a bit worried about the way that Lally kicks across the ground, Daisy. He's done it, I think, 3 times in this game, and it's certainly hurting them.
Last time it was almost fatal, Peter. They should have got a goal from it, but nevertheless, it's experience. The runner's probably been out. In fact, he's out there at the moment talking to someone in defence. I can't pick up who it is. It's actually, in actual fact, it's Page, the full-back. Over the top there was Thomas, but the umpire ruled he didn't have it, and the throw-in will take place on the half-forward left flank. 6-3 the Dogs, 2-7 Woodville. Throw in Parker against Moulds. The bodies go in quickly down there to O'Brien. Kicks in high, and that's his out again on the full once more. And actually, Peter, the Warrior forward work has been a little untidy.
I'd agree with that, Daisy. They're under a bit of pressure. The Bulldog tackling is not only hard, it's very quick. They just can't get those clear kicks, and of course they've been used to getting that in their last say 10 or 15 games. Just like that. That was a brilliant tackle on Fuller, and umpire John Hilton will come in and bounce it just left of the centre half forward position for the Warriors. It's 2-7 to 6-3. The Bulldogs leading, and they've looked pretty good in this game. Oh, off hands. McDonald, lucky. Panizza centres the ball. That was well done. Up goes Zip Zap Sewer. The big thump comes though. Here's another chance for the Warriors. Tackle applied. Umpire Hilton says a tackle is too high. The player may have been a little bit lucky there. Colin McDonald. Although he was the player that was making the play, he was the one that was doing the work. So the benefit of any doubt goes to him with his 6th kick. He lines up, and he's just snuck it through for his first goal. So the Woodville side get a much needed one. 3-7 to the Dogs, 6-3.
Yes, we see Romano Negri coming onto the ground. Sewer's gone off, so that's interesting. What are they going to do with Big Max Park? In actual fact, Negri's not going onto the ball. He's going down into the full forward area. So whether that means that Nichols will come out to the half forward line, I can't tell you, but it's an interesting move by coach Malcolm Blight to take off, well, Zip Zap, who's really zippy around those forward lines.
3-7 the Warriors, the Dogs 6-3. Moulds in ruck again, looking good. Off hands it comes towards Anderson. Rogers for the Warriors. Kicks towards centre wing. The ball will just run over the line now. So the difference only 14 points. The Warriors have had 10 scoring shots, the Dogs 9.
Throw in on the half-forward right flank. Parker has not been out of ruck yet. He's got the foot, he'll give it back to O'Brien. A long kick into the half-forward line, setting himself nickel, stuffed away there by Page. In goes Pryor, McDonald's there with him. Pryor on top of the footy, Graham over the top, and umpire Michael Abbott will come in and have a bounce. Well, the Warriors are doing most of the attacking. In fact, the Dogs haven't been into attack for quite some time. John Martin, who was stretchered off, about to come back onto the arena. Well, that's great when you're taken off on a stretch, you're allowed to. And we see Sean O'Brien exit for the moment as Jamie Thomas gets a kick out to the outer side and finds out there Greg Thomas, the former Norwood player, Peter told you, having his first game. Flintoff has been set up, but he's got it well. Gee, he's got time to fade this way, that way. McGrath left the footy behind. Graham's got to save the day if he can. He can't. Picked up by Flintoff again. They can't catch him. Puts out the pass. Vandermaker holds his ground. Lumbers back into the pocket. He's got nowhere to go. Comes out with a footy. He's got snap a goal. Oh, what a goal! Number 3. Never a chance in the world. How he ever got through that, I don't know. He seemed to be doing it in slow motion, up and down on the one spot, but he's booted it, and the Dogs have got number 7 on the board.
Tremendous play by Flintoff too. Flintoff got the handball towards McGrath, and he took his eyes off it momentarily, but it was the magic of Flintoff that got the ball back, and the kick was in the right spot, and Rudy Vandermaker did the rest. I don't know how he did it, but the big fella showed astonishing agility to boot his 3rd goal. 7-3 the Dogs, 3-7 the Warriors.
Bubner having a run in ruck now for the Dogs against Parker. Line ball, maybe Parker just. Ball forced towards centre wing, picked up there by Panizza, can't get it clear. Quickly goes Haylock, this time on the right foot, goes out wide towards the half-forward line. Pryor can't, Negri likewise, Buckley through, gives it back towards Brady, Andrew Taylor. Well done to Panizza, out wide, chance now for the Warriors. John Martin has come back on the ground. Lee having a superb game, smothers it well, puts out a handball there to Little, back to Lee in the 1-2. He must be close to the line, did it well. Scott Lee, brilliant defensive work, gets it to McGrath, the running player now is Bubner, runs himself into trouble, gets out of it well, strides off, puts it out in front of Vandermaker, the big fella's got it! Brilliant offensive play off the half-back line, starting with Lee, and Vandermaker has a shot about 40 metres out for goal. Oh, what a top effort that was by Scott Lee. Gee, he must have been close to the line. The ball was in, he was out for sure. Vandermaker. Gee, this will lift the Dogs if he can boot this. Kick number 5, not going to make the distance. Big leap in there, almost successful. Players start to pile up. Lally at the bottom of the pack. With him there is Fantasia, and the umpire will come in and bounce.
Well, they look like a very good side indeed, and they're doing it from defence. As Ian Day mentioned before, Scott Lee turning into a very good back pocket player. Flintoff to Lally. Lally stepped it. Oh, great work, Flintoff. Lally booted his first. Stephen Lally, so the Dogs go to 8-3, the Warriors 3-7.
I don't know, Peter, you might have to help me there. Who gave him the handball? But it was Flintoff, it was, got the handball across to Lally, and that was fine football. And that Flintoff, as we said earlier, he's having a magic game, but he's also proved a fine acquisition, as Peter said, one of the Hawthorn boys. And the Dogs now have hit the front 8-3 to 3-7.
Well, they're looking good too. They're not fluking it. They're setting it up with some very sound football, bouncing off the back lines and making it very hard for this Warrior side to set up any pattern. Bytheen hooks it back. Here's another chance. Greg Thomas, he's got it at centre half forward. Rudy Vandermaker goes back into the pocket. Big Rudy stands there. Bubner in front. Off hands Anderson. No. Oh, they're a danger up there, and I think they look better, Ian, with the ruckman resting in the forward pocket and Rudy Vandermaker at full forward. I'd
agree with that, Peter. Gee, haven't they come out of a sleep for a while there? For a moment it was all the Warriors. Now the Dogs are really starting to fire. Negri to Fuller at centre half back. Rips out a long drop punt to the half forward line. Oh, he paid the mark. What a ripper. And gee, what a quarter of football this fellow's had. It's his 6th kick coming up, and it's his 2nd mark. Scott Lee from centre half back goes out wide. Bythene's out there with Swartz. The big fellow got his hands to the ball. Back to Rowe, one to beat. Graham through the half-forward line. Taylor can't catch him. Graham puts it up now towards full forward. Man, oh, he's got it. No, he's got to take it away. Yes, he used him as a step ladder, no question about that. He had two big hands squarely on the shoulders of the full-back at O'Dwyer. Got the sit and the umpire ruled against him. But, gee, it's not a popular decision with the fans of the Dogs. Kick back towards Little. Got his hands to it. The umpire's ruling a high tackle that way now. Well, the Dog fans tend to think that's an even upper. 15 metres. Andrew Taylor's had a quiet one. Brendan Little to put the Dogs into attack. Off goes Mandamaker again. He's giving a chance now to Mandamaker. Gets the leap away. He's got it again! Well, I think Malcolm Blight very shortly is going to have to look at a move. O'Dwyer has been a fine fullback for them. He's starting to get outreached. And Mandamaker has another chance now from 35 metres out. And I see no, it's not the Woodville runner, it's the Dog runner out there at the moment. So no move coming at this point. Mandamaker. Only 25 metres out, right in front. He's booted 3. Oh, that kick is home. Yeah, didn't look a confident kick, but it's number 4. And the Dogs go on their merry way. Bounding clear, 9-5, to 9-4 correction to 3-7.
Oh, Rudy really wanted that one after having the last one taken off him, which he would have agreed with. He knew that he was in the wrong last time. But this time he got in front. And there was no way known they were going to take it off him. Actually, the Bulldog runner was out in because the Warriors, with their 2 big men on the ground, Bulldogs lack a bit of height up forward, and it was Graham who was standing Max Parker. Now they put Buckley onto it.
Dwyer, in actual fact, coming off and having a spell, so he did make the move. Sean O'Brien on, and I think Darren Grant, who was a full-back at one stage, has gone back into the custodian spot there, going through Rogers. Ran the gauntlet, did it well. Full of the handball out wide. Panizza to Taylor's good play. Back to Panizza in the 1-2. Spoiled by Pryor. Negri in. Pryor beats that player. Does it beautifully. Gee, they're showing a ton of aggression. The kick is out wide. Fantasia clear as he comes to meet the ball. Puts out the pass, and Big Max leads. Can't keep it in play, and it's out on the half-forward left flank.
Well done by Buckley there too to knock that ball out. And the Bulldogs have undoubtedly got a lot of confidence, so they should have. They're playing superbly. Bubner thumps from behind Parker. Warrior players everywhere. In goes Graham. Did it well. Out it comes. Thomas. Rowe. McGrath. Finally gets boot to ball. Tries to centre it. Here's a go for Flintoff. Didn't quite have the pace to go, but he's got the brilliance. Flintoff is a brilliant footballer. Can he get it out? No, the Warrior defence stand firm, and we'll see a bounce down at centre half forward. No doubt about Flintoff. He had 2 to beat then, and he certainly wasn't beaten. In front was Bythene, who he tackled a player without the ball. Plenty of players in there again, and there'll be another bounce.
No doubt about Flintoff, Peter. He did well there to keep the ball just in the area after he lost it. He was desperately trying to get it out. Then he lost it, and he crawled on his knees and just held it in the area for a bounce down for the second time. Bythene did it well. Thomas couldn't get it out. Aerial ping-pong at the moment. Lund getting back in defence. He's close to the line. In fact, he's quite happy to see that one go out. We won't say it's deliberate. Must be very close to it. 9-4 to 3-7.
Yes, it probably was deliberate, but the umpires give a little bit of licence there to the desperate defender. Colin McDonald. He has to go down centre wing because he had no one in the centre. Schwarz, a quick kick away. Plenty of pace there by Haylock. It's a good effort to get in front of Graham. Haylock's fighting hard against 2 players out there. Finally, Trevor Rowe picks it up, gets it to Graham, tries to shuck the tackle, has to get the handball out. Lally goes in hard. Oh, that's a good tackle. But umpire Hilton is going to bounce it. Just the attack side of centre wing for the Warriors. Been a good game of football. Some excellent football from the Bulldogs in particular. Through it comes now to Thomas. Didn't have a left hand for that handball. Back it goes to him now. It's in the centre of the ground, and a free kick will go to the Warriors.
Just behind centre, and it's going to be Schwarz to take it. Well, he elects to run it to Templeton. That wasn't good footy. They might get out of it, however. Still lost it. Upended was Little. Thomas tried something fancy, couldn't get away with it. Templeton likewise. Out to Andrew Taylor on the left leg. Wobbles it towards Big Max. Right there with him is Buckley, who comes out with the footy. Gives it out wide, Trevor Rowe. And the Dogs with poise clear. Thomas edging down into defence, takes the mark. What a battle that has been. Gives a chance to Little at centre wing. Little is clear. Fantasia just got to him. Spoilt the kick. Lunn on the half-back line. Once again is quite happy to see it go out of play.
The Dogs 9-4, the Warriors 3-7. Manamaker has booted 4 for the Bulldogs. In fact, he's the only player on the ground that's kicked more than 1 goal. And Malcolm Blight made the move. He put Darren Grant back there on Manamaker. I think he had to make that move. Des O'Dwyer just not quite tall enough for the tall, fast-leading Bulldog. Negri, Martin, Jamie Thomas. I think he's one centre, although Fuller has also been a very good player. Rowe, Stephen Lally, good tackle on Lally, but he got boot to ball. Andrew Moulds had it and then gave it away. Here's a chance now, Manamaker, the big chap onto the left boot, he hooks it around. Oh, great goal, Manamaker. Oh, he's booted 5. The Dogs 10-4, the Warriors 3-7.
Well, there's no doubt it. He's a hero with the hometown fans. That's the Central supporters have come down from Elizabeth. And when the handball was shot out there by Moulds, it caught Big Rudy on the left leg. And I don't think he was an even money favourite at that stage, but he hooked it back brilliantly with his left leg. And he's put it through, and up go the fans in the Central stand there, and they're leading 10-4 to 3-7, and it's turning into a runaway victory.
Is it ever? The Dogs have booted 5-1 this quarter, and the Warriors have kicked 2 goals, 3. So Malcolm Blight would obviously have some things to do at half-time. Anderson pushes it through for the Dogs, but it's Panizza. He kicked their second goal. Been few and far between today. Through it goes now to Buckley. Another great defender for the Dogs. Away they come, and have a look at that delivery. Straight to Jamie Thomas. And the Warrior side, the Warrior players are upset. Thomas with his 14th disposal goes through now to Little. Little puts it out wide. Not the best disposal on that occasion, and a good mark taken back there by Robert Lynch.
Lynch in the half-back line, or just inside it. The Warriors needed goals, and they need them quickly. By Thien, fine mark. Thomas again. Great handball by Thien, or runs himself into a bit of trouble. Gets out of it well to Anderson, half-forward line. Fuller can't catch him. He's going to try to beat him. Oh, that wasn't good football. Rogers comes to meet it. In goes Anderson again with pace. He had it and lost it. Now it's Thomas. That's Greg Thomas. High towards the half-forward line. Bubner up. Try to get it on his chest. Quickly swooping on the ball now is Rowe. Rowe puts it back in towards full forward. Setting himself Rudy. Oh, he was grabbed. Didn't have the footy. Darren Grant shakes his head in disgust. But there's no doubt about it that Big Rudy's going to get a free kick 20 metres out in front, and what an afternoon he's having. Rudy Mandermaker, the boy from Hawthorn. He looked very big and bulky last season. In fact, he started off in the reserves before he started a fire, and now he's back in an integral part of the Dogs' quest for a flag in 87. Kick number 8 coming up. 5 of them have been goals. And that's number 6. 6 goals for Hawke. The Hawke before half-time. 11-4 to 3-7.
Well, again, the Bulldogs have got that many players around the ball. Even when they make mistakes, which Anderson did, they were able to get the ball back. And Rowe got the kick forward, and clearly Grant was holding on to Mandermaker. No doubt whatsoever about that. He's booted 6. How many will he boot this game? 6 before half-time is a good performance in any brand of football. 11-4 the Dogs, the Warriors 3-7.
Umpire Michael Abbott. Not a good one, favours Fuller. Martin, he's not showing any real ill effect from having been stretched off. Schwartz gets out the handball in front of Martin. Little back in defence as well, grovelling for it, does it well to Flintoff. On the left leg, comes out wide. Lally, Lunn goes for the thump away. Anderson, well done Lally, great shepherding. Off goes Anderson, do you think this boy can move? As he beetles through the half-forward line, goes for the lead now of Mandermaker. With him there is Bubner. McGrath back. Finally, it comes out from Lynch to Jack Weir. Lum, half back line. Jack Weir continues the 1-2. Gets it over to the teammate in Rogers. No, that's Schwartz. Goes to the half-forward line. O'Brien needs help. Oh, the big fellow Negri's got to lumber after it. He's doing it well to this stage. Graham to beat. He's still got the ball in front of him. He does it well. Can't get a kick away, but he forced it into the forward line, and the big fellow is still chasing. Nichols against Lee, and Lee is quite happy to put in the shoulder and let the ball go out of the play.
Well, 3-7 to 11-4. The Dogs have been brilliant. They really have. And that was a good effort by big Romano Negri. He's in ruck now against Moulds. Negri put his hand on the ball. Now he tries to get boot to ball, but he appears to be in slow motion somewhat. And the free kick will go to the Dog defence there, and it'll be taken by Philip Graham. Graham's 7th kick as he goes short to Buckley. Or, tell you what, there's a lot of disarray out there in the Warrior ranks. That disposal again is good. Lunn shrugs the Lally tackle. Now John Martin, he's going to go for a run. Taylor, can he kick a goal? He lines it up from 40 metres out, and the kick dies. Went straight to Scott Lee, who gives it to Brady. Brady's kick, not a good one, that's a floater as well, but Pryor makes amends. And they're going to run it out of defence. The half-time siren is gone. A brilliant quarter by the Dogs as they go in at the big break with a big lead, 11-4 to the Warriors, 3-7.
A great second quarter by the Dogs, kicking 6-1 to 2-3. Sees them lead by 45 points as we start the second half here at Woodville. Parker gets the thump away, but it goes straight to Anderson. They go into attack again, but it's not a good kick. And it's Jack Weir who takes the mark in defence. He's at centre half back as he returns the ball over towards centre wing. Big leap out there by Schwartz, not successful. Templeton it was. Through comes Thomas. He's had a great game through the half-forward line. Kick number 15 on its way now. Up towards Vandermaker! Oh, gee, do you think he's having all his birthdays today? Kicked 4 in the second quarter, and 4 of them all in the last 15, 16 minutes of it. 6 to date. And he's only 30 metres out right in front. O'Dwyer's been taken off him. Grant's on him at the moment. And I would think his stay could be very short-lived if Vandermaker gets this one. Should not miss. Geez, on a roll. Got 7. 12-4 to 3-7. And the Dogs off to a great start in the second half.
Gee, I don't know who they could bring on against him, Ian. Blighty might have to come on himself, because I don't think they've got a man really capable of stopping Vandermaker, because it's not just Vandermaker, it's what's happening down the field, and particularly out of the centre, where Jamie Thomas is playing an outstanding game. As I mentioned before, Ron Fuller doing plenty of good work, but Jamie Thomas, I think, is a touch more direct. But Vandermaker, he's certainly finishing it off. He's had 9 kicks, 6 marks, and he's booted 7 goals. Excuse me.
Sure will. 12-4 to 3-7 at the centre bounce. Parker against Moulds. Moulds got to wait. Parker thumps to the half-forward line, too far for Taylor. Pryor gets out the long one to Anderson. Centre wing in goes the Dogs again. Vandermaker comes to meet it, and he's got it again! Well, there's nothing that Grant can do to cut that one off. The ball was put lace out on a threepenny bit, and Vandermaker's a lot quicker in a straight line than he looks. Got long legs, and Grant was right with him all the way, but he was just that third of a metre short, and Vandermaker takes another mark. 35 metres out. Oh, is his confidence high? It is skyrocketed. 8 goals, Vandermaker, 2 in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
Well, it wouldn't be correct to repeat what we've just said about Vandermaker, because that goal was set up in a very similar way to the last one. It all happens out of the centre of the ground. But the great thing about Rudy Vandermaker is his anticipation and knowing exactly when to lead. I tell you what, that's not just luck. There's a lot of skill and ability in knowing when to do that.
Parker's winning taps at the ruck, but he's not getting the ball away. His small men are not. And once again, it's the Dogs through Little this time, up towards McGrath. Holds his ground, almost pulls down a big one. Jack Weir seeks the aid of Lund through the half-back line. Kicks long out towards centre wing. Taylor's going to be short. The big leap over there is successful by John Martin. Well, he was stretched off the arena in that second quarter, and he's come back firing on all fours. Parker slips onto the half-forward line, takes a good mark. Well out from goal, however.
Well, they'll need to do something pretty quick, the Warriors. We all know that they finish their games off very well. Remember last week where they ran all over West Adelaide in the last quarter, and there's Ron Fuller. Right forward pocket. Sewer's back on the ground. He wants it. I think Fuller is going to go for goal, though, as Pryor comes across to cover Ralph Sewer. Ninth kick now to Ron Fuller. He's been one of Woodville's better players. He's way offline with that. He's kicked it out on the full.
Peter, I think they've made a move. They've got Schwarz on Jamie Thomas, and I wouldn't be surprised that's in more of a tagging role than anything, but he's had a brilliant game, and with Mandamaker, clearly the two best players on the ground. Buckley screws the ball out of defence. Gee, that's a ground covering kick up towards centre wing. Thomas there as well. Haylock through. Shows a lot of speed. Back to McDonald. He bombs it into the forward line again. Out came Moore. Nice mark there taken by O'Dwyer's back on the ground, and he's playing full forward. Well, he played full forward when he's with the legs, so there's no newcomer to that posse. But on this occasion, he's 40 metres out, kicking into an ever so slight breeze. The flags have started to flutter a bit now, and the Warriors are kicking into it. That one's going to be just light on. In any case, it was offline. A point only. 3-8 plays 13-4.
Well, they've certainly made plenty of moves, the Warriors. They had to, because they're nearly 10 goals out of the business at the moment. As Page kicks off for the Dogs and gets plenty of distance straight down the centre. Jamie Thomas in front. Oh, strong mark. How about that? Gives it to Flintoff. Onto the left boot. Greg Thomas now. Oh, it runs straight through. Here's a chance for Lally. Onto the left boot. He wants Mandamaker. He's in the square. He's got it again! Oh, they can't stop him. A freakish performance by Rudy Mandamaker. He's booted 8. And he's like a giant magnet up there at full forward. Put it anywhere near him, and he gets it. It's his 11th kick, Rudy Mandamaker. Point blank range, and he puts it straight through the centre. 9 goals to the big full forward. 14 for the Dogs, the Warriors 3-8.
Well, Peter, it's a superb performance, and the immediate thing that comes to my mind, what's the record number of goals ever kicked by a Central's player? And I've got my footy times book here, so we'll have a look at that at the moment, but it's just a matter of putting it up there now, and he's going to catch it. Grant's had a go. I don't know whether they'll make another move. As Peter said, no, Grant is off him, and they've got Rogers back at full back, so he's got his third opponent for the afternoon.
Moulds in the centre against Parker. Parker smashes it down. Plenty of players in there. Too many players, in fact. They can't get the ball out, and there'll be another bounce. Gary Jones was the player that comes to my mind, Ian. Have you checked it out?
Peter, yes, I've got the Central player, M. George. I think it's George, kicked 10 for Elizabeth in 1978.
Well, Rudy Mandamaker's right on his back, because he booted 9 already, and we've only just started the third quarter of this match. It's right half forward for the Warriors. Max Parker hooks it over the top, but it's Warrior players everywhere. Initially, it's Greg Thomas. Puts it up to half forward, the thump away there. And off hands, it's Templeton. Runs into trouble. Gets one out now. Rogers. Ralph Sewer's at half forward and takes the mark. Who can he kick it to, though? He's virtually got to go long. Max Parker's the big man in the square. Big Max up. Can't take the mark. To ground it comes. Pryor, look. He copped a high one, and that's just before he went for the tunnel ball.
Peter, that figure I gave you was only against Woodville, but the most goals are 11 by, you're dead right, by Jones and also by Greg Edwards. They both kicked 11 goals for the Dogs. McGrath with the ball on the half-back line. Smothered off the boot, a little casual that is, but the umpire said he's come over the mark. Things not going right for Woodville at the moment, and Jack, we're not at all happy with umpire Michael Abbott and giving him both barrels. McGrath kicks a long one to the half-forward line by Thien. Grant Now it's Schwarz, or thought about Panizza, but just what he did because he's well covered. McGrath's going to have to show a bit of spirit here, but it's Brady who takes the mark, and he's done a good job today covering Andrew Taylor, but then again, Taylor's not getting a lot of opportunities.
No, he's not in, but Brady, a good player. Oh, Clinton. Vandermaker again. No, too long for that player, but it's run through towards the pocket, and it runs out of bounds in the right forward pocket, so we'll see a throw-in in that position.
Gary Jones beat at 11, Peter, against South at Adelaide Oval in 1971, and Greg Edwards kicked 11 against the Bays down at the Bay in 1982. Throw in the right forward pocket. He's got 1 to equal the record and 2 to beat it, and he's got a fair while to go. Templeton has a flying shot. In fact, he's conceded that. I thought he's having a shot for goal, but he's gone back through his own goal line, and of course, no, the ball is out of play in actual fact. I wonder why that was. It looked out on the full. Oh, well, maybe he just pushed it out. A throw in. Parker got his hands to it. Bubner flew off, snaps, and he's just offline for a point. 14-5, plays 3-8. The Dogs doing it easy.
Of course, Ian, it's the way that the Bulldogs are playing all over the ground, the way they're running it into the forward line with what appears to be consummate ease, but they're doing it against a very good side. That's the important thing. Parker goes for the thump, Pryor off hands. Players stack up around the ball, and umpire John Hilton will bounce it. As Ian Day pointed out, Schwarz has gone into the centre on Jamie Thomas, who's having a field day. O'Dwyer to full forward, Nichols into the pocket, so they've made moves. There he is again. He could be best man on the ground, Jamie Thomas. Been a very good player. Panizza now onto the left boot. And a mark taken there by Grant. Grant tries to play it on now. Another move's been making. We've got Lynch at full back. Grant's probably out at centre-half.
Centre-half back, yes. The kick long, Sewer back on the ground. Over the top, a fine defensive spoil there by Scott Lee, and the ball is out of play. The Dogs really playing well, taking nothing away from them, but I wonder just how much Woodville are missing Kevin Harris. Throw in, Taylor up, over the top, Brady. Page whips out the handball to Greg Thomas, close to the line. They run him into the ground. Quickly now full up, but the ball was out of play, and the throw-in will take place on the half-forward left flank. 14-5, plays 3-8.
Well, that's 3 opponents so far, Ian. O'Dwyer, Grant and Lynch for Vandermaker. I wonder if he'll cause another one. A hook back brilliantly to Fuller. They have thrown that ball. Lally. Flintoff. Been an exceptional player, Flintoff. 13th kick. He wanted Vandermaker. Finds that player. He's got it again, Rudy Vandermaker. Could this be 10? No, it won't. He just misses to the left of the goal post. Well, we've got to say it, Ian. He's deceptive, he's quick, and he's also pretty agile.
Sure is, Peter. In actual fact, it's Rogers who's gone back on, Peter, not Lynch. Rogers has gone from centre-half back to full-back, and Grant's gone out to centre-half. Flintoff playing for the free kick. Oh, did it well. Grant on top of him there. It's a loose ball. Swooping on it by Thiem. The big fellows at centre wing at the moment, about to put them back into attack. Out comes Vandermaker again, but he's underneath the flight of the ball. In fact, he tripped at the wrong time, and the ball trickled out of play in the full forward left pocket. It's all the Dogs at the moment.
Well, they've got to make sure that they don't play to him on every occasion. But having said that, why not play to him? He's in such good form that he'll kick 20 goals if they get it there often enough. Lally's taken over the line, so we'll see another throw in that position.
10 metres from the behind post. Big Rudy, quite unconcerned, right on the goal square at the moment. Parker's in there, gets the thump away. Sean O'Brien back in defence, wobbles one back towards Thomas. Oh, what a great grab it is. Gives it away. Pryor coming off the half-back line, shoots for goal. He's ripped it. Oh, what a goal. And you think Pryor loves it. Running back to centre, hand held high. He's ripped off the half-back line, taken the handball, that man again, and number 15's on the board.
Well, what a great performance from Jamie Thomas. I'd say he is best man on ground to this point. He's dominated the ground, he's dominated the centre, and he got that handball over to Pryor to set up that goal. 15 kicks, and 10 handballs, Jamie Thomas, and I think they've all been effective.
At the centre bounce. Parker giving everything, but it's not enough. Big fellow tries to barge his way through. Schwarz gets his boot to the ball to the half-forward line. Taylor's got to wait for it. Lee over the top, thumps it away, but in doing so, absolutely destroys Taylor. Gets hit right on the nut, and he's going to get a free kick at centre half-forward. Too far out to score, but he gives it a big heave up towards Nichols at full forward. Page there with him, got his hands to it. Oh, Scott Lee made his first mistake. Or was it Lee? Because the ball is now out to Pryor. No, it was Buckley who dropped it initially. But on the half-back line over there, it's Little. Page beautifully. Puts out the pass. Brady, off go the Dogs again. Brady breaks the tackle through the centre line. Out comes Vanderbaker. No, this time it's going to be Bubner. Pushed underneath the ball. Fantasia. Back there with him, Anderson. Claims him. Bubner with a chance now. Against Grant. Oh, runs straight through Grant. One-on-one. Vanderbaker. Rogers. Vanderbaker. Dropped it. Couldn't get his boot to the footy, and the ball trickles across for a point.
He's got 9 Vandermaker, and this Bulldog crowd would love to see him get another one. Well, at least another one. Rogers at full back now. He's going to kick to the outer side of the ground. Grant and Bytheen. Bytheen spoils pretty well. A good tackle there on Lynch. It's close to the line, and we'll see a throw in. Left half back, or left half forward flank for the Bulldogs.
Yes, I don't know what the Warriors can do to get out of this, Peter, but they've got more troubles than out of work left. Templeton. I'll work that out in a minute. Well done over there, Fantasia, or Martin it was. The ball is out of play.
3-8, 15-7. There were a few so-called experts that thought the Dogs would win, but the extent of the victory, or the likely extent of it, is going to be enormous. Flintoff was tackled pretty well then by John Martin. He was carried off earlier in the game, but he's come back to his great credit. Cross goes Sewer. Can't mark the ball. It's gone out again. Just the attack side of centre wing for the Warriors.
Well, a big crowd in a perfect autumn afternoon. Little stunned, I think, the way the Dogs have taken it away, and obviously there's a preponderance of home supporters here. And I think all they've got left now is the bar down the end there, and there seems to be plenty in it. Whether they're looking the footy or not, I don't know. Off they go again, off the half-back line. Lee, another long kick up towards the half-forward line, but it's taken in defence by Darren Grant. Short, McDonald. McDonald's going to get run down. Oh, the Warriors just can't take a trick this afternoon. Little gets it out. Here's another chance now. Handballed away there by Bytheen. McDonald back on the footy again. He's going to get a free kick for a trip, and he'll take it. No, he'd have to go back over his mark to take it. A little disappointed, but the umpire is quite correct. Slips out the handball, and it's Grant. Drives back towards centre wing, or centre, and it's taken there. No, it wasn't. It was actually, in actual fact, it was Lynch who kicked that ball out of defence. Now Panizza. The back is Page. Can handle the ball pretty well. Good handball, Thomas. Now this is Greg Thomas. Short to Vanderbaker. Oh, he gets his hands to it. Can't complete it, Lunn. Back now to Lynch again. And he goes in short and finds O'Brien.
O'Brien takes off and gives it over to Schwarz. Back to Sean O'Brien. Again short. Very indirect, the Warriors. They haven't set up any big points down the centre of the ground. O'Brien goes short, but it's Page again. I'd agree with Ian Day that Greg Page has played very, very well. He's had a lot of friends on his own side that have done similarly. Graham. Oh, they're under a lot of pressure, the Warriors. They can't do a thing right as Anderson clears for the Bulldogs. They've got a few players back here. Grant to Jack Weir. Jack Weir initially in trouble, but gets out of it pretty well. He'll go to the outer side of the ground where they've got 2 players out there. Fuller couldn't do much with it. Flintoff can to Stephen Lally. Oh, here's a chance. Bytheen if he can mark it. Bubner. A goal coming up for the Bulldogs as Bubner straightens up and puts it straight through the centre. That's Bubner's second goal. Brilliantly done, the Bulldogs. 16-7 now to the Warriors, 3-8.
Oh, Peter, there's some superb handball going on now, and that little kick to find Bytheen unattended on the half-forward line, and then the longer one over to Bubner as he drew the defence, and it was an easy goal for the big fellow, and they're doing it on the bit. It's a superb performance, but I'm a little worried about that of Woodville. It's very lacklustre, and they're not putting a lot into their effort at all.
Yeah, they can't get the ball out of the middle, Ian. They're certainly missing Kevin Harris, but not to the extent of nearly 13 goals. Powerful performance by Thomas. He did it again as he ran through the centre. Now McGrath over the top. Lally, no, it's Greg Thomas. He runs into an open goal, and there is another one. Greg Thomas has got his first. 17-7 the Dogs. The Warriors 3-8.
Yes, they're congratulating Greg Thomas. It's not only his first for the afternoon, it's also his first for the new club. Greg chose to leave Norwood to seek greener pastures, playing his first game for Centrals this afternoon, and that was a good goal. But once again, it was a constructive handball coming out of that centre line, absolutely destroying the half-back line of the Warriors. Nothing they can do about it. The looseness has caused further upfield, and they're down 17-7 correction to 3-8.
Schwarz having moved to the centre, he can't curb Jamie Thomas either. Thomas is killing them in the middle. Parker got it to Taylor, back to Parker again. He's going to get run down by Little, but he got the kick away. Out comes O'Dwyer. He takes the mark at centre half forward, or Nichols on his own. It's a good kick by Des O'Dwyer, and getting back on the ball, taking the mark is Stephen Nichols. So he now gets a chance to kick his first goal. It's been a long time since Stephen Nichols was lined up for his first. Midway through the third quarter. He'll boot this though. First goal, Stephen Nichols from his fourth kick. 4-8 the Warriors, and the Bulldogs are 17-7.
Yes, maybe the Bulldogs' defence is just getting a little overconfident on that occasion, because you never, as Peter said earlier, never give a centimetre to the full forward of Nichols. That's all he needs to kick a goal. On that occasion, they gave him nearer 10 metres. And, of course, the pass from O'Dwyer was spot on. Lee got back desperately, couldn't find the leather, and the easy mark was taken by Nichols, and he converted for his first. And it's a long time since Nichols has been reduced to only 4 kicks and 1 goal in a game, but in a 4-8 total, I don't suppose that's all that bad. 17-7 to 4-8.
Interest still on Rudy Mandamaker, who's got 9 goals so far in this match. On centre wing we are now. There's Panizza. Clears for the Warriors. Not Panizza, Haylock it was. And it's gone out to right half forward flank for the Warriors.
They could be brothers, Peter. I'm just having a look at the two of them. If it wasn't for their number, you'd think they were twins.
Thanks for that, Daisy.
That's all right, helping you out, Pete. Big thump by Bubner. Back to Panizza. A long kick up towards full forward. Buckley is there. Nichols over the top, but O'Dwyer's got it again. Whereas this time, yes, it is O'Dwyer, and that was almost a casual effort. And I think he'll have a shot himself. He's only about 40 metres out. Little breeze to speak about. And the Warriors starting to get back into the game a little. 7th kick. Move from full back to full forward. And the umpire said that is home. Fine goal, O'Dwyer, his first. 5-8 to 17-7. And the Warriors improved their score just as mentioned.
Well, they've moved the ball out of the centre on the last 2 occasions, and that's paid dividends for them, obviously. Max Parker working hard in the middle, and Haylock doing some good work in there, and also Colin McDonald. But they're a long, long way behind. In fact, nearly 12 goals, and that's a lot to make up in a quarter and a bit of football.
You're not wrong. At the centre bounce. Bubner against Parker. McDonald through. I think he's going to win a free kick. McDonald just the check side of the centre line. Kick number 9 coming up, goes out wide. Lee at the back. Brady got his hands to it first. Pryor did it well, then lost it. Ball out quickly to Templeton. Dummies well on the left leg. Puts out a pass. Here's a chance. Sewer. Graham almost half volleyed it. Gee, did that one well. Puts out a long handball. Flynn off. Oh, beautiful pick up. Off the half-back line. Kicks long. Bytheen looking for it. He's going to have to work hard. Rogers got a shocker. He's going to have to work too. Mandamaker can't catch him as Rogers boots the ball back to his half-forward line. Panizza with the run. Templeton comes out with a footy. Dummies well. Puts out the pass to O'Dwyer. Buckley over the top, fine mark.
Been a good defender, Buckley, along with Scott Lee, Little, and also Page. Page has been a very good player. 10 kicks now, Buckley. Oh, Jamie Thomas. He's going to get it for a slap on the side of the face. A brilliant performance in the centre of the ground, particularly considering his opposition. Ron Fuller is one of the form centremen in the league, and a mark there by Darren Grant. Grant went to full back for a while on Mandamaker. Play on is the call. Ron Fuller's got it. Des O'Dwyer wants it, but he's leading from about 100 metres away. Max Parker now, left half forward flank. Kicks long. Taylor from behind, but the man in front, Des O'Dwyer. As cool as you like. No, it's going the other way. It's going to Greg Page.
I tell you, the Warrior players are not happy about it. Page is a long kick. Well done, Stephen Lally. Gee, that was a fine mark under pressure. Plus his 15 metres. Page runs on for the double play, but Lally's going back to kick long with number 12. Goes out to the half-forward line. Oh, great mark over the top, Darren Grant. He's looked all right at centre-half back. He's had about 3 or 4 spots. To the lead of O'Dwyer again. O'Dwyer playing well now. Comes through centre wing. Returns the ball to the half-forward line. More central this time. Brady in the middle of the action there. And the umpire's going to pay the mark of Andrew Taylor. Well, they won't take this one away from you, young friend. You've got it 45 metres out. Taylor hasn't had a big afternoon, as we said before, yet to kick a goal. And Brady's done an excellent job on him, although it's kick number 9 from about 45 metres. Well, the kick is off the side of his boot. Barely make the distance. Lee in the action there. And I think, goal! And I think it's been kicked by Nichols. Nichols grabbed it quickly and popped it through for his second. And the Warriors now have got 3 in the last 7 minutes. And their score 6-8 to 17-7.
Yes, the Taylor kick was never going to be a goal, but when it hit the ground, the ever alert Stephen Nichols, as quick as you like, snared one. So some latent respectability coming into the Woodville side. 6-8 to the Dogs, 17-7.
Still down by 65 points late in this third quarter. Parker lifted his game. Good handball out there by Haylock to Fuller. The Warriors always come home strong in this second half, and they're starting to burn now. Loose ball this one. Buckley lost the footy, still in there. 3 Warriors around him, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Well, they finished with a wet sail against West Adelaide and finished up winning by 40 points after being down all afternoon. But to give someone perhaps a 70 or 80 point start is a mammoth task. Rowe. Graham lost it. Peninsula likewise. Haylock threw it out to Fuller. Fuller's going to run into trouble. That's got to be holding the ball. They could play to advantage. Brady's got it, but the umpire's going to bring it back. And the Dog fans don't like that at all. It was to the advantage of the Dogs, but it's going to be a free kick at centre-half back to Greg Thomas. Thomas heaves it to the outer side, looking out there for Bubner. Grant got up very early. Jack Ware lost it. Now Bubner's got it. Big Rudy leads. Here's a chance. Rogers there with him. Oh, there's 2-on-1 there. They swallowed him completely. Anderson shows speed. Back there is Rudy. Anderson round 1. Doesn't tango. Shoots for goal, and he's threaded it through for a point.
Well, it was good effort by Anderson. He kicked a goal in the first quarter, young Stephen Anderson, and whilst he hasn't been in the game a lot in the last 2 quarters, he's still been very serviceable. John Martin takes the mark in front of Brendan Little and plays it on towards Haylock. It might beat him out of bounds. It does. So the free kick will go to Jamie Thomas, or will it be Andrew Moulds? Moulds is the player, and he's been a good player.
He certainly has, Peter. Fires for the lead of Mandamaker again, got up very high, but certainly Rogers is doing the best of the 3 full-backs tried on him this afternoon. Haylock grovels for it. Lund can't find it. Here's a chance now for Flintoff in the pocket. He's going to get run down or shoots for goal, getting across. No, it's going to be an FAD, I think. And oh, what a place to get a free kick. The Warriors can't take a trick. Ian Anderson to get it, but they flattened Flintoff. I don't know who it was. Umpire John Hilton right on the scene, just indicating where the ball has to go back. And Ian Anderson, who's booted a goal in the first quarter, correction, Stephen Anderson, should not miss from point-blank range. Kick number 11 coming up. Popped it through. No worries at all. His second, 18-8 the Dogs, 6-8 Woodville.
Well, that was a goal to stem the tide somewhat. It seems funny to say that, but the Warriors have booted the last 3. But when you look at the overall context of the quarter, the Bulldogs have booted 7 and the Warriors only 3. But those mistakes you can't make. Flintoff is a clever player. He held onto the ball until late. He was put down, and it was Anderson who got the free kick and made no mistake. So it would appear that the Dogs are going to win this game. It's a question, I guess, of how far, but the Warriors have certainly improved in the last 5 minutes.
Bytheen having a run on the ball for the Dogs against Max Parker. He gets the benefit of the bounce, thumps at 30 metres, but it went straight to Brady. Brady did well to get out of trouble there as he hooks back to the half-forward line. The ball taken there by Jack Weir. On quickly now to Haylock. Haylock grubbers one. Nichols out, lost the footy. Quickly in Thomas, whips out a handball. Lally can't, Parker can. Whips out another one, longer still. McDonald on the left leg. Nichols wants it in, but he's going into Sewer in the pocket. And he's taken it well. Oh, I don't know that the handball's all that good. The handball away again. Finds O'Dwyer, and he snaps the goal. And what a ripper goal that is. Thought Sewer had made a mistake initially. But the Warriors have got their 7th goal, and it's the second to O'Dwyer.
Well, again, it was somewhat indirect. It was a very good kick from McDonald to Sewer. I agree with Ian Day. The next handball was a bit touchy, but the big chap O'Dwyer has certainly not hung his head after being moved from full back. He's made a strong point down there. Page is still a good player for the Dogs, but O'Dwyer is certainly doing some good serviceable work.
Parker starting to get some telling touches out of centre now. He thumps this one again. He finds Schwarz with it, gives it to Fuller. Fuller puts it out now in front of O'Dwyer. Gets one hand to it. Graham back in defence. O'Dwyer in the action again. Gets it away. Oh, fortunately, finds Nichols 30 metres out. Luck's a fortune, they say. It was a kick under pressure round the corner. Just lobbed gently into the arms of Stephen Nichols, and he's got a chance to boot his 3rd with kick number 6. Never looked like missing. Fine goal. And the Warriors in this quarter have come back strongly, and that is their 5th for the quarter.
Yeah, Nichols has booted 3 this quarter in, and O'Dwyer has got 2, so that has been a very good move by Malcolm Blythe. I think it was forced upon him when O'Dwyer had to leave the ground after being murdered by Mandermaker. But getting him back to full forward, getting Nichols into that pocket. Nichols, of course, is a player that can play right down the ground. He doesn't have to be at full forward, and it has worked. So they've got 5 this quarter, easily the Warriors' best quarter, and of course, we would expect, as usual, a good last quarter from them.
Woodville starting to get the ball out of the big centre square now. This time it's Moulds back and ruck. He gets it to Lally. Lally off the side of his boot. Flintoff is going to have to work hard because it's Lund back there with him. Overruns the ball but does it well to get out of it. Flicks it back Grant. Out wider still is Fantasia. The Warriors go forward again. Now O'Brien, half volleys. Not a good handball. Fantasia's going to have to go back and get it. Schwarz can't. Parker can. Gives it away to Fantasia on the centre wing spot. Drives out. Dwyer on the lead, but at the back of the pack, a good mark taken in defence by Brady.
Brady at centre half back. He's been there all day against Andrew Taylor, and I think he's probably won that position. Taylor has not been a force. Well done, Max Parker. Over towards Colin McDonald. Oh, taken away by Stephen Lally. The left boot, though, goes straight to Alex Lund, and he's just the defence side of centre wing on the outer side of the ground. The siren has gone to end a very entertaining 3rd quarter in which the Warriors improved a little bit to finish the quarter 8-8 to the Bulldogs 18-8. Start of the last quarter here, and it's the Warriors trailing by 10 clear goals. In ruck, Max Parker. McDonald comes through, but it's Trevor Rowe out there who put his hands on it. Oh, it's a good tackle by Brady, but the clearing kick of Andrew Taylor gives the man in front there, O'Dwyer, a chance. Oh, he's manhandled Page, And it'll be a Page free kick at fullback. Third quarter was the best so far for the Warriors when they booted 5 goals, but at the same time the Bulldogs got 7 as Buckley clears for the Dogs, beautifully disposed, and there's that man again, Jamie Thomas. What an outstanding game he's played. 17 kicks he's had. Lally, brilliantly done, Lally. Oh, he caught one. McGrath, Vandermaker, he's booted 9. Will he get 10? The handball went out, McGrath went through, fighting very hard, and he can get a free kick for a high tackle. Jack Ware didn't agree with the decision, but the umpires don't change their mind. So McGrath now will go long, unless, of course, we see a lead of Vandermaker. The big chap certainly can lead. Taking plenty of time, McGrath. Yes, there it is, short to Rowe, but it's rolled over the line, out of bounds.
Vandermaker's had 3 opponents this afternoon. He started with O'Dwyer, then Grant went back there, and now Rogers is on him. And Rogers is doing the best of the 3, but maybe the opportunities haven't been as great since then. Bubner through, left the footy behind. Anderson couldn't. Players go in for the footy, and the umpire will come in and bounce. 18-8 to 8-8. Central's led 5-3 to 1-4 at quarter time, 11-4 to 3-7 at half time, and as Peter said, the Warriors had a good second half of that third quarter when they booted 5 goals to put some respectability into their score, but it's been all the Dogs. They've been too good on the day, led by the brilliant performance of Jamie Thomas, centre field. Nothing to say, Vandermaker's 9 goals. Panizza, Thomas got clean bowled. Here's a chance now, Little, out wide Anderson, he's clear. Anderson looking now, is he going to look? Oh, a bit slow to get rid of that. Gave it to McGrath, that's holding the ball. Good tackling, and Woodville allowed to play to advantage. Out comes Grant, gives a chance, half forward line. Templeton, Taylor comes across to join him. Right there with him now is Braddy's done a great job on him at centre half back. And Braddy comes away with a football, drops it back towards the half-forward line, or 2 Woodville players sport one another, but fortunately for them, it's going to be Alec Lund to get a free kick on a half-back line.
Lund to John Martin, and the Bulldog player down behind play, and Andrew Taylor's got it at right half-forward flank. Appears to be McGrath who's got a problem there. It might be his shoulder or his hand. Scott Lee to Philip Graham, now Pryor, or they're zigzagging. Back to Scott Lee now. An outstanding first half of football, Scott Lee. Tries to centre that one. Page, he had to stop. Did he ever? Page, a good player, feinted the handball. He's a good player, in fact, Page. I like the way he's played today. Vandermaker up high, couldn't get near a mark. Flintoff bursts through the pack, lines it up from 30 metres out and just misses. 18-9 the Dogs, Woodville 8-8.
Yes, I agree with you about Greg Page, Peter. He was the player we told you about earlier who couldn't get in the Brisbane Bears, got a little bit miffed with the fact that a local boy couldn't make the side that's just been ensconced in Brisbane. So he decided to join Central Districts, and I would think they're very pleased, judging on by first-up performance. They'd have to be. Bubner. Now, here goes Vandermaker this time. Rogers is very close to him. He's playing him well. Vandermaker out in front. The big fella gets his hands to it, can't complete it. In goes McGrath. Can't find it. Lund comes away with a footy. Gives a chance, Haylock. Grant will get it next at centre wing. They're creating the loose man. One to beat Grant. The tackle's too good by Pryor. Templeton comes to meet it. Nowhere to go. Almost lost his tweeds. In fact, he's going to lose them. Holding the ball. I thought he was out of bounds when he got pinged, but umpire Hilton didn't agree with me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Daisy. I think you read that one right. I think that Templeton, in fact, gave up on the ball after he went over the line, and Scott Lee a little bit lucky there with John Hilton's interpretation. Bubner in front, good mark. Bit of softening up there by Lund as Bubner floats one forward. Vandermaker. No, he's going to have to give it away to Robert Lynch, who was manhandled before the event. 15 metres there against Rudy Vandermaker. as Lynch goes up beyond centre wing. Good mark there by Andrew Moulds. Probably the best ruckman on the ground. Moulds, although Parker has come into it in the third quarter. Brendan Little has been a very good player for the Dogs. Martin pats it forward. Fantasia. Colin McDonald, a very quick disposal to Panizza. Kicked it straight into Brady. Philip Graham now will use the left hand to give it to Lally. Lally to Greg Thomas. Anderson wants it. He won't get it though. Bytheen. Lunn and Templeton.
Templeton off the half-back line, drives up to Fuller. Fuller's got it. Sewer wants it. That's the way it will end. Good kick, good lead. Taylor runs past for the handball, but Sewer is confident of making the distance. He ought to. Nice looking kick, and that is a goal, Ralph Sewer. Fine goal. And it's zip-zaps first, and the Warriors come back to 9-8, but still trail the Dogs 18-9.
Well, the best thing about that goal was the way that Fuller just gently brought that ball back when he saw Sewer out at the corner of his eye, and he put it right where Zip Zap wanted it, right on his chest, and of course the rest was pretty easy, academic. The Warriors 9-8, the Bulldogs 18-9.
Players looking pretty tired, but then again it's been a very warm afternoon. 25, 26 degrees, perfect for the crowd, but a bit warm for the players. Parker, Moulds got up higher. Fuller gets the kick away, not effective, and it's taken by Trevor Rowe, check side of centre wing. Rowe has Lally out wide, Anderson in centre half forward, but he's going long for the lead out there of Bubner, who makes a big metre and gets there. Too far out to score. He's almost at centre wing. Kick number 11, Bubner, as he returns the ball. A chance to Mandamaker, who got up, thumped cleverly away by Rogers. He's done the job right. Big Max can't crash his way through. Big Rudy's got it, straightens up. Is it number 10? Puts it on its way, but it's going to be well offline. In fact, it's just touched by Bytheen before it goes out of play. Just about 2 metres from the behind post.
Very popular boy, Rudy Mandamaker. He's booted 9. As the Bulldogs lead by 9 goals, 1. They led by a lot more than that, though, and the Warriors have whittled away, but they're still too far behind, in my view, to win this game. It's gone out again. Left forward pocket.
About 25 metres around. The game is dying a little. But then again, the big crowd here this afternoon would be largely Woodville, and they haven't had a lot to yell about. Throw in. Bytheen against Parker. In there is Bubner. Lunn comes out with a foot. He hooks back towards the half back line. The bounce will favour Lally. Gets upended. Schwarz does it well. Goes for a run. Thomas can't catch him. The kick is to the half-forward line. Taylor against Brady. Taylor almost. Brady back in defence. With him there is Pryor. Supported by Granchi. The big fellow's cool. Gets out the handball. Not Grant. Page it was. Brady drives looking for Little. Got up very high, but didn't get the football. Parker did. Sidesteps well to drive the ball to the half-forward line. And over the back is Page again. Sewer looks for McDonald. In comes Lee. Now Dwyer gets the kick away. A chase for Pryor, who gets the decent sit. Nowhere to go. Concedes to Buckley. He's then going to have to go across ground. Oh, he got out of that beautifully. Just sidestepped well and gives a chance for Brady.
Yeah, brilliant football there by Buckley. Brady took the easy mark, and he'll go back and take plenty of time after winning 15 metres. 9th kick to Brady. He's been a very good player. Good solid performance. Lally from behind. Player in front was John Martin. Appeared to have a severe ankle injury early in the match, but seems to have overcome that pretty easily. Pryor. Short to Scott Lee. Now Philip Graham. Graham's been a good player too for the Dogs. McGrath's out wide. Up he goes from behind. Jack Ware. Fantasia. Didn't really have a big look, but it went over the top of Scott Lee. Gets back on the ball very quickly. Dwyer in there. Plenty of players around the ball, and yes, they're going to get it clear. Graham, Flintoff. Sean O'Brien. Panizza. A chance now for Nichols as he marks in the pocket. So the Warriors get a chance to boot their 10th goal to bring themselves to within 8 of the Bulldogs. 7th kick coming up for Nichols. Booted 3 in the 3rd quarter. And that's a great kick at goal. He's just got his 4th. So the Warriors advance to 10-8 now for the Bulldogs 18-9.
I wouldn't think Cowboy Neil would be very happy with his performance. It was brilliant early, but sure, the Warriors are noted for fighting on, but the Dogs are just simply not as working as hard as they did early. But Nichols, what a footballer he is. He's very cool, calm and collected, and every opportunity he gets, he seldom wastes one of them. But it's still 8 goals the difference, and with only about 15 minutes to go, not a big chance for Warriors.
Back to the centre, Moulds and Parker again. Moulds put his hand on it. Flintoff, very clever player, puts it up to half forward. Man to make a way out from full forward. Couldn't get to the drop of the ball. Fantasia. Short to Sean O'Brien. Flintoff intercepted well, but O'Brien backs up. Fantasia, long, past centre wing. Taylor in front, good mark, Andrew Taylor. He'll play on now, go as long as he can. O'Dwyer, Nichols from behind, no mark taken by either player. Jamie Thomas, quick handball out, clever play to Pryor. Anderson now. Left foot, short. Bytheen couldn't pick it up, but he'll get a free kick. Pushing the back from Sean O'Brien. He got it in quick to Manamaker. He'd give the big chap a chance, but that kicks into the man on the mark, Stephen Lally. Very short to McGrath. Dispossessed. McDonald, Lynch and Sean O'Brien.
Kick to the half-forward line. Templeton's got it, Martin's got it, so too is Little, and also another one in there with his hands on it is Pryor. So wisely umpire Hilton bounces it. He's at centre wing. Parker still working hard. Flintoff gets it out there to Bubner. Tried to Anderson. Grant through. Carts the ball across the line. 89 plays 10-8.
8 goals, 1 in it. 49 points the lead by the Dogs. Bubner and Parker. Parker took it off the top. Did that very well, Max Parker. John Martin. Running out from goal is Nichols. No, it was O'Dwyer, in fact, couldn't take the mark. Well, Page got one right in the face. He's a pretty tough player, though. I think he'll be okay. That's holding the ball against Nichols. It'll be play on to Scott Lee. Greg Thomas and Fantasia, former teammates at the Norwood Football Club. As Fantasia takes it over the line, out of bounds centre wing.
Greg Page got a very heavy knock around the face. He's got the trainers out there, but still smiling. That's the main thing at the throw-in. Parker against Moulds. Moulds perhaps just. The kick away went high off the boot of Thomas towards Anderson, and the umpire says touch, play on. A few players going in and out of there pretty quickly. Rowe got it forward. Loose ball. Rogers came to meet it. Got bowled. Big Rudy's there. Tried to get it away. He's crawling after it. Tapped it to McDonald. Back to Rogers, and the big fellow, oh, too slow. Bubner's got the footy. 40 metres out, steadies, puts in a long one, but the umpire goes galloping, and he's well off line for 1 point only, and the Dogs go on to 18-10, the Warriors 10-8.
Well, Manamaker kicked his 9th goal at about the 5th minute mark of the 3rd quarter, and since that time, he's had fewer opportunities, but also he's been marked fairly well by Rogers. Max Parker, very agile, Big Max. The kick away's a wobbly one. Philip Graham just took his eye off the ball late. Scott Lee, Brady, Pryor. Chance now for Fuller. Normally does something with the ball, Fuller. That's no exception as John Martin shows pace, and he centres it. Cutting across the front was Philip Graham. He's had a great game. 10th kick. He wants Brendan Little. Jamie Thomas, who's been a bit quieter this quarter, and umpire John Hilton will bounce.
Peter, I think he's exhausted. He put so much into those first 3 quarters, I think he's just knocked up. Had 17 kicks and done plenty of work, and he's chased and scrambled for the ball. A lot of courage in his game. Fuller on the left leg, didn't get far. Lally comes out with a footy. He can't get away. Pryor against Templeton. O'Dwyer. Well, the handball to Panizza was the shocker. Rowe, Graham, Page, or is it going to be Rowe? Well bottled up there. Good tackle by Panizza. And he bottles the ball up with the aid of Templeton, and a bounce down will occur on the half-forward line for the Warriors. As I said, the game is starting to be played in slow motion, and who can blame the players? It's a very warm afternoon. Parker against Moulds. Parker gets the tap away, goes to zip-zap, could be a goal, boots out a long one. It's a nice-looking kick, but he's just gone the wrong side of the post, and Ralph nudges a point. 10-9, they are to 18-10.
Well, the Warrior side would obviously be intent on playing this game right out. In no man's land at the big break, but they booted 5 in the third quarter to get back into it just a little bit. Fantasia now, but Moulds took it off him. He puts one out in front of Bubner, who picked it up superbly. Brendan Little, Scott Lee on the lead down there as McGrath. Comes back on it, he'll have a chance, but it's Alex Lunn who intercedes. And now Jack Webb. Grant. He's done pretty well. He had a tough time at fullback when he was on man-to-maker. Now Max Parker. Big Max has worked hard, particularly since half-time. Fantasia. Rowe gets back. Couldn't mark the ball. Page did it well initially. Sewer. Taylor. Has to get rid of it very quickly. Now Flintoff. Martin cuts across and takes a good mark. And a slap in the face for his trouble. Sewer. Schwarz, acting vice-captain. Forward pocket. It'll run out in that position.
Yes, Martin upset his forwards then by going for a run and bouncing the footy. And they were all leading. One was out in his own. That was Templeton, but he bounced and then got caught off balance. Didn't help his forwards at all. Maybe he should lift his eyes a bit more before he dispatches the ball. Incidentally, Malcolm McGrath certainly is injured. He can hardly move, and that's the reason he didn't chase harder. A lot of pain on the boy's face, and I'm just trying to think who the Dogs have got off the ground, whether they haven't got another reserve there to come on. Graham, well done. Anderson. Graham again in the 1-2. Over the centre liner. Out comes Big Rudy. Rogers is there with him. He used his body beautifully. Heads towards goal. Is it number 10? Puts it on its way. Oh, it's just offline. And I think that's about the only interest left in the game, whether Big Rudy can kick 10 goals. But, gee, what a chance.
Well, I've got a feeling he will. There's enough time for them to get it down to him as the long kick out comes from Rogers. Or Flintoff went high. Rowe couldn't give it to Flintoff. Max Parker shoots a long one out to McDonald. Hasn't been a bad player. Panizza now bounces it through the centre of the ground and then kicks long. Nichols comes out, takes the mark on the chest. What an amazing player Nichols is. We were mentioning there midway through the third quarter, lining up for his first goal. Now he's lining up for his 5th. He's had 8 kicks. You can't keep him out of the game. Goal number 5 to Stephen Nichols. A great performance. 11-9 the Warriors. The Dogs 18-11.
Well, once again, the Warriors coming home in this second half like Trojans, but it might be, in fact, I'm sure it is too late. It's only a 7-goal plus deficit, but I doubt whether they can make that up. Quickly kick back towards the half-forward line, and Nichols almost, and I think they're going to pay the push. Just trying to pick the player up. I think it could have been Schwartz who kicked it in there. But Nichols has been paid a push rather than the mark, and he's got it 30 metres out. Peter said he's got 5 all in the second half. In fact, I suggest to you he's going to be unselfish here and give this one to Ralphie Sewer. In fact, he's probably got those 5 almost through halfway through that third quarter. Sewer from point-blank range, cannot miss, does not miss, and Ralph boots his second. And, whoop, or did he miss? He did miss. I can't believe that, but he did.
No, I believed you. I just wrote down his second goal, but it's unlike Ralph to miss from that position as Page goes to the lead of Brady, but it's cut off there by Panizza. Another chance for the Warriors, or the Panizza kick goes straight up in the air. Chance there for Templeton, but Pryor keeps him out. Buckley goes short with great disposal to Greg Thomas. Buckley's been a very good player for the Dogs. Greg Thomas now brings it up towards centre wing. Ooh, Alex Lund fell very badly. Stephen Lally gets it away. Anderson. A free kick for kicking in danger, according to the umpire there. Fantasia. Over the top to McDonald. Now Haylock, who just came onto the ground. Nichols wants it in the pocket. Sewer will have it. Is that easy? When you run the ball out of the centre. The goal here to Sewer would bring the Warriors to within 6. But we're running right out of time in this game. 7th kick to Sewer, his second goal. The Warriors 12-10, the Bulldogs 18-11.
Yes, that was well done, and what a second half that Big Max Parker has played. He's been the inspiration that got the side going, and his taps and pushes and shoves and his body strength has been superb, and that was a fine pass out to Sewer in the left forward pocket, and where he missed from point-blank range only a minute ago, that one he threaded through. As Peter said, 6 goals the difference, but I would think there's about 5 minutes left of play, and it seems too much. But once again, the Dogs have not scored a goal in the last quarter.
Coach Cowboy Neal has seen his side outscored in the second half. The Warriors have kicked 9, the Bulldogs 7, but what a great second and third quarter it was for the Dogs as they streamed into attack. Nichols, Sewer onto the left boot. Can he boot his third? He has. 3 goals, Rouse Sewer. And the Warriors come marching home. 13-10 now, trailing the Dogs 18-11.
That's unbelievable, Peter. At half-time, they were 3 goals 7 and playing like a very poor side indeed. Suddenly, they have booted 10 goals. In fact, they've booted 10 goals 3, and in that time, as Top's third quarter saw 7 goals to the Central District side, but since then, they haven't kicked anything. So they're making a game of it. Perhaps it's not all over yet.
Well, you never know. It would need a miracle, though. I don't think there's enough time for the Warriors to win, but they're certainly not going to give up without a fight. Max Parker to Fuller. Here's a chance now. O'Dwyer comes down to centre half forward. McDonald off hands. Here's a chance from centre half forward to McDonald. Oh, he misses by plenty. Just got the point, in fact. So the Warriors now 13-11, the Dogs 18-11.
I think they've got injury problems. Brady can hardly move. McGrath's in the forward pocket. He can't stretch out either. And I just think they've got all their players on the field. And obviously, the Cowboys worried for that reason. Lee gives a good lead. He's got the ball in the back pocket. But taking nothing away from Woodville, kick number 12, Lee. They've played great football in the second half, and you wonder where they all were in the first half. Thomas died out of the game. Graham can't find it. McDonald can, gets it out now. O'Brien, no, Panizza shoots for goal, and once again he's offline. Gee, Peter, they've had their chances in this last quarter. There's a couple of easy ones missed there. Sewer missed one earlier.
It's an amazing game, isn't it? And we keep saying the ability of the Warriors side to finish their games off, and they're showing it again today. Brilliant kicking out from full-back by Buckley this quarter. He rarely misses to find a man. Lally. Thomas. Oh, he's got a problem too. Gee, he felt for that thigh muscle. Oh, no, it's a calf. The right calf. He might be cramping up. Yes, he's gone down now on the haunches. Bubner, outpointed by Grant then. Finding it hard to run it through half forward. They do now. Thomas handball comes out to Anderson. Manamaker on a lead. One hand up. Tries to get back on the ball, Manamaker, but it's going to come away again. The Warriors can set this one up. Well, I thought Grant could have been used then, but wasn't. Back goes Andrew Taylor onto the ball. Got a bad bounce. Grant went through. Couldn't do anything with the ball, though. Colin McDonald. John Martin. Lally's a very pacey player, though. He stayed right with him. Taylor was flat-footed. Back it goes to Grant. He had it, then dropped it. Similarly, Pryor. Here's a chance now. Fuller. Oh, Sewer wanted it. Fuller goes home. Oh, great kick, Fuller, but it's cut off by Buckley. What great defence.
Oh, gee, that must have only been centimetres in it. Rowe gets the set. He can run for a week. Panizza's going to have to go and meet him. He's done it well, though, but still it will wind up there with Thomas on the outer side. As Peter's told you, Thomas is obviously cramped up. He did a tremendous amount of work in that first 3 quarters. 19 kicks, goes to the half-forward line and finds Flintoff. Flintoff lines up for kick number 22. Both very good players. Mandermaker on the lead. Big Rudy gets his hand. Has done a fine job. Jacquia gets it out long towards the half-forward line. Fantasia ripped it off quickly. Lund, centre half-back, slips the tackle. Does it well to Schwarz, kicks in long. Half-forward line, Taylor out in front. Fine mark. The Warriors still coming home at a rate of knots. Taylor might be too far out. Off goes Nichols, one-on-one. Nichols against Buckley. Buckley too strong in the air, and he's now limping, but he'll give it out wide to Page.
Page, back pocket, marks well. He has played well. Gets around O'Dwyer there. O'Dwyer's been a good player in the forward line after being beaten by Mandermaker earlier. Flintoff hooks it up to half forward. Oh, Greg Thomas in front, couldn't mark the ball. Jacquia tries to shrug the tackle. Now Alex Lund. Oh, the kick's not a good one. Oh, great interception. Ralph Sewer feints the handball, feints it again. Gets around the corner. Brilliant work, Sewer. Templeton now. He's in the clear. Uses the left boot instead of the right, and he's going to kick a goal. With his 10th kick, he's got his 2nd goal. So the Warriors get a little bit closer. 14-12 to the Dogs, 18-11.
Well, Peter, we've got no idea of knowing how long there is to go. Unfortunately, the cock is not working on the boundary. I would think there's only 2 or 3 minutes left, but the Warriors are down by, they want 4 goals, and they can get up and win this, but we're not certain of how much time there is to go. But being about 6 minutes to 5, I wouldn't think there'd be a great many minutes left. But what a magnificent fight back it has been by them in the last quarter. 14-12, they trail the Dogs, 18-11.
Yes, 3 goals, 5, the deficit now, after they trailed at one stage by 13 or 14 goals. Anderson still showing plenty of pace. Mandermaker hasn't booted 10, he's got 9. Can he get his 10th? He comes out from full forward. He's going to get a free kick. No, he's not. The mark's going to be paid. Rogers has done a fine job back there. Rudy, though, has been somewhat starved of opportunities. Flintoff, Templeton, through centre he goes. O'Dwyer wants it, and he's going to get it. Superb pass by Templeton. The handball's on, could be a danger. Schwarz goes through half forward. Buckley's going to come back and mark that ball. Great effort by Buckley. The siren is gone. The top game of football here at the Woodville Oval sees the Bulldogs with a great first 3 quarters of football. 18-11, defeating the Woodville side 14-12.